Hello world, this is me. Life should be.
Hey guys, alright, so right now I am all fresh faced. I had on a headband, and that is the result. Let's talk about something. So this time last year, no, actually it was like a few weeks ago in May. I was in California visiting my cousin.
Oh, now you want to record me?
I'm trying to tell you that the light has changed.
The light changed.
And his girlfriend, his wonderful girlfriend, and at the time she's pregnant, but they already have their baby. Yay! This is what happened. We're walking down. We're like, I forgot what the street's called, but it's like downtown LA, like the tourist street. This lady stops us, and it's so funny because I hope I can find the picture and show y'all how obvious it was what this building was for. So this lady, she stops us and she's like, hey, do you guys want to take a personality test? I was walking a little bit behind them, so like they were in the lead when the lady was talking. It was like kind of like she was initially talking to them, and so I'm like, okay, I don't like awkward moments. So I was just like, yeah, we'll take it, because I'm thinking like, whatever, personality test, you know, I'm into astrology, maybe it's something along those lines, like I don't know, something that has to do with like IQ, whatever. So we go inside to go take this test. When we walk into the room, the building is like stark white. That was the first thing I noticed. The first thing I was like, what kind of personality test is this? Because this feels like a psych ward or something we walking into. You know, what's happening? And they're like, oh, just fill out this little information form, you know, like simple, like name, phone number. They lead us to the back, and literally we like looked at each other and we're like, if they try to split us up, none of us are going separate ways. Like, we don't know what's happening at this point. But we're like, whatever, we're interested. So we go to the back. They take us to this room. There's other people there, and some people taking tests, some people are like sitting on chairs, they're waiting, whatever. So they sit us down and start taking the test. The test was like a 200 question test, right? And now at this point, clearly none of us, we're just like, oh damn, but whatever. My cousin was like the most agitated because he was like, 200 questions. But me and his girlfriend, we're just like, just going, like whatever. And I'm cracking up, like recording him, have his little fit and stuff like that.
Schoolwork, she was like, oh, 200 question test. I was like, dude.
Scan our test to give us results. At this point, we're kind of like, this is not like a fun thing. Like we don't know what this is, but this is not like personality test. Yay, you have, you know, or like a color, or aura test. Like your aura is yellow. It's not that. They separate us, but we can still see each other. We're all in the same room, but like at different cubicles with different people. So they do this, and they put us with these people, and they're like, oh, you know, I looked at your tests and results, and you know, yours says that you do this and you have a spike here, and you know, this one says that you're this kind of person, like whatever. And like some stuff you could tell, like, I don't know, they were trying to like pick things, maybe things that could be generalized, I'm not sure, but they're basically trying to tell you like you need help in these areas, right? I am a Virgo moon, a Virgo Mars. I am Virgo in the 12th house. Listen, I analyze myself. I am my biggest critic, okay? In every form and aspect, I know what's going on in here. Like trying to tell me stuff, whatever, but I'm like, you know, clearly I took this test, so I'm gonna let them tell me their opinion, because I was just like open to whatever, because I was like, you know, maybe whatever they got to say, it could be some stuff that I could take home with me and apply it to something else. First guy I had was like, he was really sweet, a sweet guy. Honestly, some things I would tell him yes, just to let him talk to me, you know what I mean? He finishes, like I said, he was a cool, nice guy. He wasn't pushy, he wasn't over the top, whatever. He's like, I'm gonna let you go talk, I'm gonna talk to my whatever. I think this guy was like technically like higher up, whatever, but this man was older. The other person sent me to was a little bit younger. Now this guy was more aggressive. He beats around the bush to this day. He's not very like upfront. I'm like, you need to get to the point and tell me what you want, because I don't like people to be around the bush. Let me know what it is, what you like, what's your goal here, what do you want me to buy, right? Because that's what this is about. And at this point we're realizing that this is all about Scientology, okay? So I don't judge anybody's religion, but I'm not joining, you know, so there's that. The second guy is like telling me, you know, basically kind of reiterating what the other guy is saying, whatever. But with him, he kind of gave me more of this like, I know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna tell you, you know, whatever, blah, blah. So when he was like talking to me, I was like, well, okay, cool, that's what we're doing. Like, no, nah, He's like trying to get me to, basically he starts explaining like what it is, and he's like, you know, if you can pay this much for these classes. But I'm like, I don't live here, you know. I was like, but you know, this was a cool thing. I just wanted to see what it was about, blah blah blah. I'm not, you know, I'm not coming back, I'm not doing classes, I'm not doing that, you know. And he keeps, now at this point, he's like trying to like, well, you know, you can do this and it's gonna help you with your career. Part of me was interested because, like I said, I'm an open-minded person. Most things I would try one time. So with him, I told him, I was like, I'll buy the book from you, but I'm not paying for anything else. I was like, I'll buy the book because I will read about it, I'll look, listen, you know, ask around, research, whatever, because who knows what I could take from this and walk away with. I'm not joining. Still trying to get me to like push to get me to buy the, I'm like, I will buy the book. I don't even give a damn how much you want to charge. Come on, give me this book, let me go. Like, literally, he's like, okay, fine. Yeah, okay, fine. So give me the book and let's go. So he goes to get the book or whatever, and I'm like, I don't want them to keep any of my paperwork, any of my contact information. Now I'm more than sure they've already made copies of it because they scanned our test. I know y'all got copies. But I was like, just for my mental, to make me feel better, I want to leave with this physical copy of paper right here that has my test results and my information on it. So after he brings the book and I pay for it, whatever, he's like, still trying to talk. I'm like, I gotta go. Those people right there, because my cousins had finished already. I told him, I was like, I'm gonna take this paper, and I go to grab my paper. This man put his finger down on my paper. When I tell you I ain't never seen somebody bend their finger so hard, this man's finger was so bent trying to hold my paper down on this table. I started laughing. I grabbed my paper and he mushed it down. I said, sir, I said, let this paper go. I said, I'm about to leave. And then I told him, I was like, I'll look into it, you know, and if I'm interested, then maybe I'll do a class on with that. I researched and whatever, blah, I'm not doing it.
He got up and left, and you was still back. And I'm like, is she about to buy one of these books? Oh, she buying a book.
Why had I been getting calls for the past like week and a half from a California number? And I'm like, who is this? You know, I'm like, if it was my cousin, they would have hit me up and like, I got a new number, blah, blah. I'm like, nobody's doing that. They're just calling, and they're not leaving voicemails. They're just calling. Day after day after day. And I'm like, this is weird. Even if, because if it was a job, they would have left a voicemail. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the feeling just felt funny. I'm on the phone with my mom, and it's some time later. It's a new week, the next week, and I'm like, this California number's been calling me, and mom goes, oh, answer it. It might be some family. And like I said, I'm like, most people will send a text like, hey Taylor, this is so and so. I answer his phone. This man said, hey, this is, let's give him, we're gonna call him Nilla because it says French vanilla. We're just gonna call him Nilla. It has nothing to do with his race and like that. That's just the first thing I see. He's like, hey, this is Nilla. I said, hey. You know, he's like, how are you? I was like, I'm good, how are you? He's like, I'm doing good. He was like, you took our personality test. He said personality test, that all came to me. Boy, what? Yeah, I remember you. He was like, you came in, you had long eyelashes, gold eyeliner on, and you work in film. And I was like, yeah. You know, you told me you're gonna check out the classes, check out whatever, blah, blah, you know, I was just seeing, and all, you know, just all this stuff, whatever. And then he tries to like talk to me about the protests and stuff like that's going on, like quarantine and all this stuff. I told you, he don't, that's what he do, he just go in circles like this. Like, what the fuck is going on right now? Clearly he's trying to figure out if I'm about to join and all this shit or whatever, trying to recruit. Just felt like, it felt manipulative, you know. Yo, it'd be a little scary as fuck if he was watching this video. He tries to tell me things to be like, let me make her feel good. Oh, I remember these things about you. Oh, you look like this, and oh, you do this, and it was so interesting, blah blah. You know what I'm saying? From a year ago, to make you be like, whoa. Because if I was a person that wasn't that felt like nobody cared about me or nobody paid attention to me, and someone comes in and they start telling you all these things, what does that do? That makes you feel like loved. You know what I'm saying? That makes you feel like, oh, okay, he remembers this, and like maybe this group of people are good people. I'm not saying they're not good people, but the whole thing is just not for me. I agreed to do some work for the weekend, so I knew, like, you're gonna have to wrap this up because my boss is about to give me my instructions. Gracie calls me, and I was like, perfect timing. And so I'm like, hey, I gotta go, my boss is calling, blah blah blah. He's like, oh, I'm gonna call you back. I said, that's fine. And he does call me back. He calls me while I'm still on the phone with her. I'm like, I'm working. I'm texting my other friend, telling them like, yo, you remember the guy I told you about the Scientology from a year ago? And my friend's like, block him. I'm like, low key, I'm a little nervous to block him because I'm like, I don't know, my brain gets a little extreme, and I'm like, what if he does know how to find me? Like, what if, but I don't think it's that serious, but that's just how my brain goes. This man texts me from another phone number, And he's like, hey, this is Nilla. Not sure if the boss thing was just a way to get off the phone or if it was legit, but I'm kind of leaning towards the first option. I said, LOL, no. She's explaining to me how to do the project. He says, okay, just checking. In LA, it's quite common to do stuff like that because people are not very upfront. Texas style is usually a little different though, which I like. And New York is the best. They tell you what's on their mind whether you like it or not. So now I'm like, am I supposed to make small talk? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Because I don't like to be an asshole, but I'm like, I'm not gonna join. It's been an entire year. If I was gonna join, I would have joined. So I'm just like, okay. I was like, yeah, I heard about LA. I said, I'm pretty upfront about things, but we're working on the project and this is my turn. And he's like, yeah, LA is one of the few cities whose people I actually don't like at all. And then he's like, obviously there are individual people who are cool, but there's like a cultural agreement here on being fake or false, which I hear that a lot about LA. And then he's like, it's the same falseness and cynical jadedness that has crept into mass media. I've seen it nowhere else. Anyway, what project are you working, or what's your project, what's your role? I remember you telling me you work on your own and you work for someone else. And then he goes, this is all, like, these are continuous texts from 6:28, 6:29, 6:30, 6:31, 7 o'clock. Here, watch this. In between, it's only 10 minutes, and then he said it'll answer some questions. Cool, yeah, because he was asking me like, what are crazy things that I've heard about Scientology, and I just told him like up front the things that I heard. And then he just texted me today. So this was on the 30th. He just texted me right now and he said, do you have riots in Texas too, sir? So that, yeah, I'm just not gonna respond, but I'm also just like, if I block him from this number, is he gonna text me from another one? Am I never gonna be able to answer unknown phone calls again? I hit my cousins up, they said they didn't get a call. That's my story of me getting myself into shit.